Hello there, I'm Patrick McClellan. In this short video I'm going to show you how I create an original oil painting from start to finish here in my studio in Sheridan, Montana. Because I'm in the studio, I'm going to be working from a photographic reference. In a future video I'll paint outdoors. The photo I'm going to be using is one that was taken on a canoe trip down the wild and scenic section of the Missouri River here in Montana. And I like this particular photo because it has highlights of sun on the white cliffs and some nice big shadow shapes that I think will be a good center of interest for the painting.
Here is the photograph. It's been cropped to eliminate a lot of unnecessary sky and put the cliff where I want it.
In order to make the painting process more manageable, I'm going to break it down into 4 steps. First, I'll sketch the drawing onto the canvas. Second, I'll block in the major shapes with flat color. Third, I will add detail within each of those major shapes, adding modified color and more information in order to develop the painting. And lastly, I'll add a little impasto around the center of interest, some thicker paint to try and highlight those white cliffs, which are the main center of interest in the painting. So let's get started.
So step 1 is the sketch. I'm going to transfer the outline of the hills as well as the outline of the reflection in the water onto the canvas, and I'll kind of indicate where the shadows on the hills lie. And that's going to be all I'm going to need in order to move on to step 2, which is the block in of the big shapes. Step 2, the block in, now simply involves taking an approximate color for the shadow shape on the hills and filling that in. The same with the reflection in the water, the sky, and so on, until each of those major shapes has been covered with a color that's approximate to what's there, and the entire canvas has been covered. Once the canvas has been covered, we'll have a underpainting, a rough approximation of what our painting is going to look like before we start to add detail to it. So there's a completed block in, and now we're ready to add detail within each of those major shapes. Once the block in is complete, and if the major shapes look right and the colors are close, then it's time to start adding detail within each of those major shapes. This is the portion of the painting which is the most time consuming, where the most time energy can be expended, but where the painting has a chance to come to life. It's the most fun part of the painting for most painters. The painting is now nearly complete. All that remains is a couple of little highlights around the center of interest, and that's it. So I've mixed a little bit thicker paint now to catch some of the highlights, indicate some of the highlights of the sun up on the top of the cliff there, and those little edges that go down the line. And that's going to be all I'm going to do. That's going to be the extent of it. That's the painting. So we'll look back at the original photo that we began with, that was our reference and inspiration, and compare it to the final painting completed now, and that's it.
I want to thank you for watching me do this little painting here in my studio, and hope you come paint with me again. In the meantime, you can go to my website at patrickmcclellan.com, sign up for my newsletter to get information on future videos, and follow me on Facebook. Thank you.